Welcome to 5 Minutes with the Fami. I'm Fukui Drew, and this week, well, I'll just let the game introduce itself.
Welcome to Gamba League.
This opening is so cool, isn't it? It's the epitome of those long-lost early Super Famicon days. There's a lot to like here. I mean, the graphics are fun, the effects are solid, and the sound even has some decent voice samples. It's just a killer opening for 1991. Now, right from the start, we're introduced to this guy. Get used to him. He's the only player model in the game. I mean, the fact that there are more girl character models should be an indication of how they try to market this game. Gamba League was released in August of 1991, 2 months before the Cebu Lions were destined to become national champions for the second year in a row, a hint for which team you might want to choose if you're looking for a strong one. This is less than a year after the Super Famicon hit the market. The producers, Epic Sony, wanted to beat the popular Famista baseball series to market, which they did, allowing this tiny title the opportunity to carve out a small piece of the sports market for itself. The title screen drops you right into a menu screen that's pretty stylish, with some great music that hits hard until you realize it loops every 19 seconds. You might just grow sick of it before you start your first game. The team select is a bit ridiculous. I mean, the swingers, the hellos, the fines. The game couldn't secure the licenses of the big Japanese baseball team, so it had to settle for knockoffs. To tell the truth, it makes Gamba League a little bit more hilarious and somewhat in keeping with its cartoony art style. Instead of the Lions, we get the Lynx. Instead of the Tigers, we get the Timers. And instead of the Giants, we get the Gibsons. Now, incidentally, Gibson is a character in the popular baseball manga series Major who kills a man with a fastball to the head. Don't get your hopes up. Batters cannot be hit by pitches in this game. Trust me, I've tried. Some teams are much funnier. The Carrots replace the Carp, and the Onions replace the Orions, who are better known today as the Lotte Marines. The Whistles and Buckles are a bit out of left field, but might represent the old teams of the Whales and the Kintetsu Buffaloes, but I'm not entirely sure. So the game is quite fun and nostalgic. Pitches are fast. I mean, really fast. It forces you to swing early if you're expecting a fastball, or just wait out the pitcher's endurance. He will slow down over time, usually. Because of the variation in pitching speeds, foul balls occur way more often than you expect. However, despite the fast pitches, I noticed things can be a bit slow on defense, or maybe I just chose the wrong team. The Onions really should be called Lemons. I love the tiny animations of the characters and the players on the field. The umps shouting safe is so cute. No matter how many times you run off and back on the base, they'll let their little arms fly. The players scoring a run are even cuter. I mean, look at this guy running off the field like he is the happiest little sprite that has ever been programmed. It just warms my heart. There are 3 stadiums in the game. I didn't even know I could choose them for the longest time. They do add a little variety. Gamba Stadium is the default stage. West Stadium has the shortest distance to the outfield wall, while Massive Stadium has the highest and furthest wall of the 3. Think the Big Green Monster. Broken bats are common in the game. I mean, really common, like 10 times a game common, which I find hilarious. I like to think that there's some Japanese forest that is being grown just to replace the bats lost in Gamba League. Some other abnormalities spring up from time to time. Every member of the defense moves in unison. Some throws are just so painfully slow. Cutoffs are essential, even from third to first. Oftentimes a throw home will just peter out in the midfield and everyone will just stand around looking at it. The computer won't advance a base as long as you have touched the ball. So if you grab the ball, no matter where the runner is before he touches the bag, odds are they won't move to the next base. Even if you run off the base and throw it to no one, they won't advance. Even with this knowledge, the computer is still going to beat you. Called games happen often. The settings can improve things a little bit. Auto defense is essential at the beginning. I also found this option for cold games. I love this mistake. It's actually a common one in Japan. It gives me a sense of the budget this game had to work with. Many Japanese fans call them cold games because they often happen during rainy days or cold days, so go figure. Just for fun, I decided to turn off cold games and see what happened when the scoreboard got to be 100. Nothing special, not worth the effort. The scoreboard did turn into these freaky letters, but that's about it. Overall, the game is fun, but not bingeable. The game looks and feels like an original Famicom game, just with slightly better graphics, which is not surprising because this system was new at that time. I may not pull it out for casual playing, but I could see myself playing it with the wife and kids to decide where we should eat, or to settle some long-standing bet. Overall, I give it 4,600 broken bats out of 10,000. My challenge to you this week: win a pennant. Now, this isn't as hard as you may think. Just choose the best team and lower the number of points for called games to 1. The game will often be called in the first or second inning. You could theoretically win a pennant after 10 innings, so good luck. The copy I bought was 1,000 yen. It came in the box with old price tags, but generally in pretty good condition. The manual is still inside and readable. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the purchase I made. I've seen some cartridges go for as low as 200. It isn't rare, so if you want it, it's easy to pick up. Anyway, this is Fukui Drew. Thank you very much, and see you next time.